Okay, let's dive in. It's something almost every pet owner feels, right? That heartbreak when you realize our amazing furry friends, well, they just don't get enough time with us.
It's so true. You watch them get older, slow down a bit.
Exactly. But what if, science could actually change that? What if we could give them more healthy, vibrant years? More playtime?
Well, that's exactly the cutting edge we're exploring today. We've pulled together some really fascinating stuff, research papers, interviews, FDA news, all about the latest anti-aging science for dogs and cats.
Yeah, so our mission here is to break down these new drugs, these new therapies that could genuinely extend the healthy lives of our pets.
And the emphasis is really on healthy lives, not just more years, but better years, more vitality.
Keeping them feeling younger for longer. Okay, so where do we start? There's one name popping up a lot, LOY0002.
Right, LOY002. It's from a biotech startup, Loyal. It's an experimental pill once a day, beef flavored, which helps.
Huh, definitely helps.
Yeah.
And it's for older dogs.
Yeah, generally dogs around 10 years or older, over 14 pounds or so. And the way it works is really interesting. It's what they call a caloric restriction mimetic.
Okay, caloric restriction.
Yep.
That rings a bell. Wasn't there a big study, Purina, maybe?
That's the one, the landmark Purina study. They found Labradors fed 25% fewer calories lived almost 2 years longer.
2 years, wow. And they had fewer diseases too, right? Like cancer, arthritis.
Exactly.
Mm.
Delayed onset of those major age-related issues. But, putting your dog on a super strict diet forever, that's tough.
Oh, tell me about it. So how does LOY002 manage that? Does it do the same thing without the constant hunger or weight loss?
That's the goal, precisely. It aims to give the dog's body those same metabolic benefits of caloric restriction, but without actually restricting calories, so they can eat normally.
It sort of tricks the body into thinking it's fasting.
Essentially, yeah, it taps into those same longevity pathways.
And this isn't just theory anymore, is it? There was some big news from the FDA.
Huge news. Early 2025, LOY002 got what the FDA calls a reasonable expectation of effectiveness for extending lifespan.
Okay, reasonable expectation of effectiveness. What does that actually mean for, getting this to vets and pets?
It's massive. It means the FDA, which is super cautious, has looked at the data and said, yes, there's solid scientific reason to believe this drug will likely extend lifespan in dogs. It's actually the first time any drug has gotten that kind of validation for longevity in any
The
species.
first ever. Wow. So it's basically saying aging itself might be treatable.
That's the profound shift, yeah. Treating aging as a condition you can target with medicine.
And Loyal CEO, Celine Heliua, she described it as somewhat rejuvenative. What does that look like in practice? How would you see that in your, say, 12-year-old dog?
Right, it's not just about the number of years, it's about the health span. They're looking for improvements in things we can actually see: mobility, energy levels, vitality. The idea is maybe your 12-year-old dog acts more like they did when they were 9 or 10.
More zoomies, fewer stiff mornings.
That's the hope. More youthful function for longer?
And they're testing this properly. Big study.
Oh, yeah. The STAY study. It's actually the largest veterinary aging study ever done. They enrolled 1,000 senior dogs across the U.S. to really track these effects.
1,000 dogs, okay.
Mhm.
And any idea when it might actually be available? And the cost. Always the question.
Loyal is aiming for conditional FDA approval, hopefully by late 2025. If that happens, vets could start prescribing it. And they've said they're aiming for a price that's accessible, like double digits per month.
Okay, that sounds promising. Now, LOY002 is for senior dogs generally. But what about big dogs? We always hear they age faster. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a really well-documented thing. Large and giant breeds often have shorter lifespans. A big reason seems to be IGF-1,
IGF-1.
insulin-like growth factor 1. It's a hormone that drives growth. Great for getting big, but high levels seem to accelerate aging. And get this, large dogs can have up to 28 times the IGF-1 levels of small dogs.
28 times. Okay, that explains a lot. So is there something specific for them?
There is. Loyal actually has another drug, LOY001. This one's an injection specifically designed for large and giant breeds to reduce that IGF-1 signal and kind of dialing back their faster aging clock.
And did that one also get some FDA attention?
It did, yeah. Back in late 2023, LOY001 also got that same reasonable expectation of effectiveness nod from the FDA. So targeted approaches are happening too.
Fascinating. Okay, but it's not all about dogs, right? What about cats? Are there anti-aging things happening for our feline friends?
Absolutely. There's a lot of excitement around a drug called Rapamycin. It's shown really consistent lifespan extension effects in lab animals.
Rapamycin, okay. And how does that apply to cats?
Well, big news in March 2025. The FDA granted conditional approval to a rapamycin tablet for cats called Felycin CA1.
Conditional approval, like LOY002. What's it approved for?
It's approved to treat hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, HCM. That's the most common heart disease in cats,
Yeah.
and it's strongly age-related.
Ah, so it's using a longevity drug to treat a specific age-related disease.
Exactly. It's inhibiting something called mTOR, a pathway involved in aging, and by doing that, it's treating the disease at a more fundamental level, so it's extending their healthy lifespan by tackling a major killer.
That's a really smart approach.
Yeah.
Okay, beyond rapamycin, what else is bubbling up? I've heard about NAD plus boosters.
Right, NAD plus BET. It's a coenzyme, super important for metabolism, DNA repair, things that decline with age. And the results in mice have been, well, pretty stunning.
Stunning how?
Like studies showing old mice getting NAD plus boosters, and within a week, their muscle health markers looked like those of young mice. Really dramatic rejuvenation effects in rodents.
Wow. So can I just buy NAD plus supplements for my pet now?
You can find supplements, yes, but the catch is we don't have the same kind of rigorous, large-scale clinical trial data in dogs and cats, yet showing it definitely extends their lifespan or health span. The rodent data is compelling, but we need more proof in pets.
Gotcha. Potential, but wait for more evidence. Okay, what about the really futuristic stuff? Gene therapy.
Yeah, now we're talking cutting edge. There's a company called Rejuvenate Bio doing this. They have a therapy, RJB01.
How does that work? Gene therapy sounds intense.
They use something called a viral vector. Basically, it's a harmless virus they've engineered to act like a tiny delivery truck. It carries specific longevity-associated genes directly into the dog's cells.
Delivering good genes, essentially. What kind of results are they seeing?
Pretty remarkable results, especially in Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. This breed gets mitral valve disease, a really common age-related heart problem. RJB01 actually delayed the progression of that disease by, on average, over a year and a half.
Delayed it or stopped it?
Delayed it significantly, and in some dogs, they even saw signs of the disease reversing.
Reversing, wow. So gene therapy might not just slow aging, but potentially turn back the clock on some damage.
That's the incredible implication here. It suggests some aspects of aging might not be a one-way street. They could potentially be reversible at a genetic level. That's a huge insight.
Okay, this is all amazing for pets. But what does it mean more broadly? Why should someone listening care beyond their own dog or cat?
Well, there's a huge connection to human health. Dogs and cats, they share our homes, our environment, even some of our food habits.
Yeah.
They also get many of the same age-related diseases we do: cancer, arthritis, cognitive decline, heart disease.
So if something works well in them,
It provides really strong, extremely compelling evidence, as some researchers put it, that similar approaches might work in humans. It's like a stepping stone for human anti-aging research.
a translational model right in our living rooms.
Exactly. And then there's the emotional side, which is just undeniable. Remember that moment at the Emmys in 2023? A director won and joked about wanting them to fast-track the dog anti-aging pill.
Oh yeah, that went viral. Everyone related to that.
Totally, because our pets are family. People are deeply invested in their health and willing to, invest in keeping them well for longer. It's about that bond.
It really is. It's about getting more good years, more fetch, more purrs, not just decline.
Precisely. And you can start to picture the future, right? Maybe your vet doesn't just treat illness, but recommends a personalized longevity protocol for your senior pet.
Like, okay, you have a Great Dane. Let's start this IGF-1 modulator at age 8, and then maybe add LOY002 later on.
Or your Beagle gets LOY002 plus an NAD plus booster once the data is stronger. Tailored combinations based on breed, size, health risks.
It's moving beyond just accepting aging as inevitable.
Yes, it's about actively adding life to their years.
Right.
Not just tacking on time, but enhancing the quality of that time. More vitality, more playfulness. It's a really fundamental shift.
So wrapping this up, it feels like things are moving incredibly fast in companion animal longevity. Aging is starting to look less like fate and more like a condition we can manage.
It really is becoming a treatable condition, and that leads to maybe the biggest thought here.
Go on.
If we can successfully reshape aging, slow it down, even reverse parts of it in our pets, these animals we share our lives so closely with, what does that really teach us about the fundamental nature of aging itself?
Right. If aging is malleable in dogs and cats,
What does that imply for us? Proving it's possible in pets, getting that validation, it could fundamentally change how we view aging across all species, including our own. It's a pretty profound question to think about, 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 question to think about.